Hey, in this video, I'm going to give you 6 pros and 6 cons of living in Clearwater, Florida. Some of them run together a little bit because sometimes something that's a pro can also be a con. But before I get started, do me a favor, hit that like button, leave me a message at the bottom down there someplace, type me out a message, and by all means, hit that subscribe button. Okay, here we go. 6 pros and 6 cons coming up. Okay, pro number 1 is beautiful beaches. The Clearwater beaches are amazing. Beautiful white sand, crystal clear waters. I mean, it's a big tourist destination just for that reason. But when you live here, you get to see and use those beaches all year long. Pro number 2 is, you might guess this one. Pro number 2, guess what it is? It's the weather. Yeah, the weather. I mean, January is that worst month, and it might get down to the 50s once in a while in January. I mean, who cannot stand that? Think about those folks of you. Some of you may actually live up in the north or in the Midwest someplace where it gets cold and you get snow and all that kind of crazy stuff. We don't have that here. The weather is absolutely amazing. So to live here and enjoy this weather is really, really awesome. You're going to love living here because of the weather. Pro number 3 is outdoor activities. Because of number 2, the weather, you can do whatever you want to outside all year long. I mean, if you like playing tennis, playing golf, water sports, if you like to go boating, hiking, running, whatever it may be, whatever you enjoy doing outside, you can do it here all year long. If you're from up north and you have a boat, you don't get to use your boat all year long, just a few months probably, yeah? But down here in Florida, in warm, sunny, wonderful weather Florida, you get to do outdoor activities all year long. Now, how cool is that one? Pro number 4 is quality of life. Look, the cost of living here is really, really reasonable when you compare Clearwater to other major cities around the country. It really is very reasonable. And our quality of our schools, the quality of our hospitals, the healthcare, it's really excellent here. So the quality of life, when you consider all things, it's superb here. You're going to really enjoy the quality of life and the cost of living here. It is absolutely outstanding. So the quality of life was my bullet point number 4. Pro number 5 is entertainment. We have the Clearwater Jazz Festival. You have a place called Ruth Eckerd Hall. A lot of the top groups come in there, the Beach Boys, Earth, Wind and Fire. A lot of groups like that come there. And if you want to stretch out and get even more involved in the arts and the entertainment and theater world, get over to Tampa and St. Pete, which none of those are a very far drive. I'd say maybe 30 minutes or so. That's one of the great things about this area is you're really close to so many things when you live in Clearwater. So Tampa's not far away, St. Pete's not far away, and Clearwater. Those 3, if you want to be entertained, Clearwater is going to be the place for you to live. My bullet point number 6 and my final pro for this section for today is sports. If you like sports, this is a great place to live. You have a couple of training camps here. You have the Phillies training camp right here in Clearwater, just down the street a little ways in Dunedin. You have the Toronto Blue Jays across the water in Tampa. You have the Yankees. That's where their spring training camps are. And they also have minor league baseball here as well. But if you dig, Major League Baseball, you've got the Tampa Bay Rays, not a far drive. You have the Tampa Bay Bucks, which is a professional football team. You have the Tampa Bay Lightning, the hockey team. So, I mean, if you're into sports, what a great place to live. So if you're digging sports, you're digging number 6, which is we have so many great sports for you to pick from here. Okay, I shared with you the pros. Now I'm going to give you the cons. Going to give you the cons. Con number 1 is the traffic. Yeah, the traffic here can be brutal. I mean, it really can. And the people, a lot of times they don't know where they're going because they're tourists. I don't think the city is laid out that well in terms of a traffic grid, but it's not horrible. It's just not laid out that well. But even if it were, we get a lot of tourists here in the peak season, probably from about February to May. So, it gets really, really busy here. So if traffic drives you crazy, the con for you is certainly going to be, just like it is for me, is the traffic. Okay, con number 2 is the humidity. Oh my goodness. The humidity and the heat can be brutal. When you get into July and August, I mean, it's a bit toasty and you're going to sweat. Now, I hear people talk about the dry heat in Arizona and they like that. I really do prefer the humidity, but I got to tell you something. If humidity bothers you, this is going to be a tough place for you to live. Now, heat and humidity kind of go together in my head, right? I often say to people, though, yeah, it does get hot here, really hot in July and August. The humidity's bad. But if you don't have to work outside, it ain't such a big deal. I mean, fortunately, I don't have to do roofing work. If you're a roofer, this is going to be a tough place to do business. Thank goodness I don't. But the con number 2 is the humidity can really be brutal. Con number 3 is hurricanes and storms. Yeah, you've heard about that, haven't you? That also has an impact on the insurance costs. So insurance on your home is a little pricier because of that. But the reality is, get this, the reality is we really haven't been hit by a hurricane. I mean, like in 100 years or something weird like that. I'm sure my number is off, but we haven't really been hit. Now, we do get a lot of rain here during the rainy season, and the streets do flood. So if you're out driving around, you've got to be really, really careful, because before you know it, you're going to be in some pretty deep water and it's going to kill your engine. Now you got some serious problems. But the hurricanes and the rain can be an issue. So that would be my con number 3, is hurricanes and storms. So my con number 4 is it gets really crowded here. I mentioned the traffic problem, but there's another component to that, and it's the crowds. If you want to go out to a restaurant, if you want to go to the beach, it can sometimes be kind of overwhelming. During the tourist season, there's a lot of people here. So it gets really, really crowded. And if you don't like being around a lot of people and you don't like having to stand in line for a restaurant, it's going to be a pretty tough gig for you. So the con of living in Clearwater, Florida, is it gets really, really crowded here at times. Con number 5, limited job opportunities. Clearwater is not known for having a lot of great job opportunities. I mean, Tampa and St. Pete, it's a bit better, no doubt. But Clearwater, for whatever reason, just doesn't have a lot of great employment opportunities. So if you're coming here looking for work and you want to live in Clearwater, you may have to understand that the negative is you may not find that work in Clearwater. You may have to go to Tampa or St. Pete to find work. So con number 5 is job opportunities, not so hot. Okay, con number 6 is kind of a big con. Termites and insects. Look, you're gonna have bugs and stuff here. There's no question about that. It would be wise to have your place sprayed on a monthly basis like most people do. But the real problem sometimes is termites. Look, there's a number of different ways you think about termites around here. You either have had termites, you currently have them and don't know that you have them, or you're going to have them. So termites are going to be part of your life. Generally speaking, what we do is they tent the property, they kill the termites off, and you're good to go for a good while, but they're going to come back at some point. So you just have to understand, you can't panic when you see termites, because you're going to have them. It's part of living in this part of the country. One of the differences here, though, most of the houses are built on a concrete slab, and so the termites don't have a lot of wood. Like if you were from up north someplace, you're built on a foundation, and you've got crawl space underneath, and you got wood up underneath there, and they get in there and eat up your wood. You don't have that identical problem here, but we do have termites here. So be aware that con number 6 is termites and pests and insects that you're going to have to deal with. So let's wrap this up. There's some pros and cons, no doubt, but if you love palm trees and water, you're going to love living here. One of the things I failed to point out to you is Florida is a state that we don't have any personal income taxes. So whatever, maybe it's going to be a little higher cost of living for you from where you're moving from, even though it's a pretty darn good cost of living in Clearwater. Even though it might be a little higher for you, think about the money you're going to save by not having to pay personal income tax. Now do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment if you like, and watch this video right here. If you're a boomer, watch this video right here about boomers who've got some cash to spend. It'll enlighten you a bit. Thanks for watching this video, and have a great day.